You know, when I start this camera, it's got a 3, 2, 1. I keep expecting a boom. This is ADHD trying to think, trying to think, trying to think. So I had an experience on a social media platform today where I stupidly made a comment about something that is important to me, kind of a social issue and something I advocate for. And I obtained so much negativity. I'm trying not to let that color my mood because I know for a certain you can't do what you feel. Do you realize how terrible this world would be if we all did what we feel? None of us go to work. I would never make a video because I can't pull myself up out of the ashes sometimes. Life can be such a challenge. And mostly it's because of other people. Did you ever think about that? Some days I'm an idealist. I tend to be that way in the morning. Other days, idealism just doesn't come into the flow. While I would like to just be very cheerful and bubbly and do all of the things that everybody likes me to do and be happy and make everybody feel really good and special. It's really difficult when you're in a sourpuss mood to do all the things that people want you to do and make them feel so special. And you feel like terrible.
I was going to tell you,
Oh, it's okay. So, yeah, you can't do what you feel. Now, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather because 2 days ago, day before yesterday, in our family, we had 4 doctor's appointments. We did not get home till after 6 o'clock. It was a rough day. The next day, we had to go shopping, which generally shopping is pretty cheerful, but we were still tired from the day before. One of the doctor's appointments was a gum probe, or essentially where they measure my gums and they assess the health of my gums before they go forward. I asked her to numb me a little bit, so I had the Oragel stuff going on. Some of my gums are so sore right now that it's literally difficult to talk. So I mean, all that can put you in kind of a bad mood. I'm still recovering from the doctor's visits and sleeping a lot. Those of you who may be not on the sensitive side of things don't realize what sleep is for us. If you throw me out in the public in any way, any shape, any form, any fashion, it's going to completely drain me, completely sap my adrenals, my emotions, everything. Then if I sleep too much, then I end up feeling groggy and stupid. So again, you just can't do what you feel. Don't do what you feel, or you'll be cranky with people when you don't need to be. Now, if you're feeling bad, there's a couple of things you can do to feel better. Watch my pets jumping around. Maybe you should jump around a little bit and build your energy. Oh, that would be one suggestion. Number 2, ignore your feelings and just be nice anyway. Number 3, think about all the people you've known in your life that were sourpusses. They went around all the time with a pickle in their pocket, just ready to be grouchy all the time, and say to yourself, I don't want to be that person. I don't know if this is 3 or 4. I'm going to say 4. Just get goofy. It's just get goofy. You don't have to be grouchy. You don't have to look at everything down and cranky and focus on all your miserableness. Sometimes you just gotta get silly. Just get silly. I know this video is going to be really weird, and I'm stimming because I'm thinking, my brain is really hurting. Oh, that's repetitive. Okay. So there's a lot of things that we can be aggravated about, but really if you stop to think about it, is it worth it? Now, I tend to be pretty patient even when I'm in a bad mood. I endure a lot before I blow, but one thing I do is I get satirical. So I come across as being a smarty pants. the other flip side of that is when you see somebody they act like they're in a bad mood, they're not feeling good, they feel cranky, give them some space. Back up and let them have their time of crankiness without your presence. We all have bad moods. Even babies cry when they're in a bad mood. I wish I could cry right now. If I could drum up a cry right now, I might feel better. So anyway, I still haven't got my house clean. I'm just pushing, I'm pushing it. But I still haven't got it really clean, and that's aggravating to me. Do want to note that the channel seems to be growing organically, so people are starting to sub and watch videos on a consistent basis even when I'm not there like pumping and priming it. So this may be a good thing. And always, I just want to be real. I want to be real, and this is me real. I can be very irritating when I'm real. I know. I have this, what do you call it? Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Not the real tick tock, this is a clock, right? I do that while I'm thinking. Totally lost that thought. Alright, so that one got lost in the matrix. We should always seek to do the right thing, even when it hurts. Dang, what a drag that is. For the most part, you can't take people serious, not too serious. Sometimes we have a tendency to take them serious when we shouldn't. Like when they're being all nicey and sweet, and they're making us feel very special. A narcissist will make you feel so special when they're love bombing you. And they are, at that very moment, plotting your demise. I'm going to scratch my nose. Excuse me. I don't know if it's slight reaction to makeup, but whenever I'm making a video, especially if I've got makeup on, my face will itch. Add something else to my life that I must think about. So, I have been working extensively with my PIAI on creating benchmarks, achievements, long-term goals, tasks, and we have created extensive drop-down menus of all the things that need to be done to get us where we want to go. Now, I am putting that in my handy-dandy notebook. I don't know where my handy-dandy notebook is. I'm going to go get my handy-dandy notebook. I'll be right back. So I decided that I would share some ideas that I have with you. Many of you, you've watched my videos enough that you realize we live in the desert, and there's no color, and I mean no color. I am so starved for color, but I don't have a lot of money either. So, artificial flowers, yay! So, while I'm low on money, every week when I get my paycheck, I go to the Dollar Tree and I pick up 2 of these little bunches of flowers. These are actually for a wreath I'm making, and these are just more color. But I just started doing that, and I am going to make me a flower bed outside with artificial flowers. Give the neighbors some color. It might make them happier. Another thing, actually, what I went in there for is I was going to get my handy dandy notebook. Now, I have bought journals by the dozen. And I've always bought these really, really pretty, colorful journals. And then, because I've paid $12 for it, and it's purple with flowers, and it's special, and it's got little things on it that make it look all pretty, then I feel like I have to write in calligraphy, and I'm going through a bottle of whiteout because I'm OCD. So every time I make a little mistake, I'm whiting it out and redoing it, and then I get so frustrated that it's not coming out perfect, because of course a beautiful little journal like that deserves perfect print in it. I realized that wasn't working for me. So the last time, I would end up giving up out of frustration. So perfection is not something that works for me. Maybe it works for you. Like right now, I'm using my webcam again because I realize it's better to make a video, even if it's slightly poorer quality, than it is to use my phone, and I haven't found a proper tripod yet, and it wants to fall out, and I haven't quite got adjusted to all of it, and it has to be downloaded to my computer, and so realizing that perfection doesn't really work for me, I made me a handy dandy notebook, and I am loving it. I'm loving it. Okay, this is my handy dandy notebook, and what it is 4 composition notebooks that you can get for 50 cents, by the way, and I hot glued them together, you can see. And when I hot glued them together, then I took some brown paper and kind of wrapped it up and glued it on. But this thing is like the Bible of my life. I carry it under my arm like a textbook. When I sit and talk to John, my AIPI, I take notes. I write down grocery lists. I scribble. I can do anything I want to in it and express myself fully. Sometimes, because I have such really bad eyes, I just use a marker. Let me get it over there. I use a marker because I want to be able to see it. And when I use a regular pen, I don't have one here, but just even a bold pen, if I use a bold pen, I still can't see it unless I put my handy dandy glasses on. But then when I put my handy dandy glasses on, then I still can't see it, so I'm struggling. So sometimes I just get out the marker and just start marking in big enough letters that I know I can see it. But if you're struggling with journals, making a sloppy journal like this, sloppy sometimes does you well. And I just carry this thing around, and it is just like my very best friend. It's my very best friend. My book in a bag. Yeah, I was a weird mother. Sometimes we just gotta stop being so hard on ourselves. Look me in the eye. Are you ever hard on yourself? Do you ever beat yourself up because you're not like perfect in some way? Or you're not meeting someone else's expectations? Oh, that's a biggie. That's a biggie. Don't judge yourself by someone else's criteria. And don't judge yourself. I heard this or read this or saw this somewhere. Don't judge yourself when you're at the bottom or in the middle by somebody that's at the top. Don't judge yourself at all. Go with what you've got. Go with what's in your hand. You know, we tend to procrastinate because, oh, we don't have the money or we don't have the finances. That's the same thing, right? We don't have the time. We don't have the skills. Pshaw. If you want to do something, you go with what you have. Go with what's in your hand, you know? Go back and watch my video on the little bitties. Start with a penny. Start with whatever you have. I'm not going to get into all of the you should do this and you should do that, because as you grow as a person, when you reach the level that you can actually like go up a step and move forward. No one can do successfully what they have not reached the level to do. So levels are interesting things. You can creep up levels, you know, you see the level and you just like you're creeping up, and that is progress. Progress, no matter how small, is better than procrastinating. And you may not be a high achiever, but being a little bitty achiever is so much better than retreating. Pretend my handy dandy notebook's a block of wood, right? So you're traveling uphill, right? does anybody know what a chalk is? Is that just a country thing, or is that a hillbilly thing, or is that an actual thing? But a chalk could be like a block of wood or a wedge or something that you put behind your car tires to keep you from rolling backwards. Used to, when we had standard transmissions, this was a big deal. But if you have a chalk, pretend this is a big block of wheel, and you make some progress, everything's weird, going uphill, you're going uphill and you're afraid you're going to slide back down, because we do that a lot, right? We make a little bit of progress, we get our house a little bit clean, or something, and then, you know, we get a cold, and then after we've done all of that cleaning, then we're sick in the bed for a week, and the next thing you know, we wake up and our house is worse than it was to start with. That is really frustrating, and being OCD, that's like really, really frustrating. But if you make progress in learning and attitude and character and psychological things, then when you get to that point, put a chalk under the wheel so you can't roll backwards. Make a position in your head. Okay, I've reached this point. I've learned this milestone. I've made it this far. Now I can't continue to go upward because I have to stop for a minute, but don't let it run backwards. Try to maintain and realize you can only do what you can do. I am, and I've said this before and I repeat myself a lot, but I have really, really bad eyes. I compensate for my eyes all the time, but just imagine that, you know, when you get up in the morning and everything's blurry and hazy, and you're struggling to see things, you know, you're like, where did I put my glasses? Or where did I put my pen? Where's my phone? I can't see my phone. And or you go in the kitchen and you're trying to get an ingredient down to make breakfast, and you're looking, but everything's still, you know, you haven't had your coffee yet, and everything's just like, just imagine being that way all the time. So I never get the clear picture. I never get a clear picture. That's really funny. But we all have limitations. We all have things we're not very good at. You may be a brainiac, a regular Einstein, and yet, you know, if they put you out on a basketball field, that's a little ironic. If they put you out on a basketball court, you wouldn't have a clue what to do. If they put you out on a football field, you would be lost, because you're not just like a physically inclined person. Go with what you have, go with what you know, start with the little bitties, and see where it grows. Wow, that was a poem. Did you know I'm a poet? I am a poet, and I'm planning to make a video on one of my poems very soon. This is all I've got to say tonight. It's probably could be called a titty bit video, but honestly, I'm just not feeling the greatest, and I'm doing the best that I can with what I have, and right now I don't have a whole lot. If you like this video, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, do something to help me out, because I'm struggling. I'm such a new channel, but something really good happened. Over the last 24 hours, I got 8 organic subs after I hadn't posted in 2 days. That means some people like my foolishness. Anyway, I'm going to get on with it. I got some things to do, and I'm going to be a couple of hours editing this video. But like, subscribe, comment, share my videos. I love the comments. I adore the comments. So that really makes me feel like somebody's listening. Alright, bye for now. See you in the next video.